Hello guys and welcome to today's video. Today I'm actually going to talk about my band history, as in all the bands I've been in up until this point. So let's just go right into it. The first band I ever played in was a band that we named Shape, which is a pretty corny name in my opinion, but we were young back then and I've talked about this band before. We were three guys, played a lot of Blink songs and a few of our own, but we were wannabe Blink guys. That's why we were three guys, that's why we played their songs, that's why like the whole image, we just try to be them pretty much. Since we were Blink fans, we were of course skate punk influenced. We were not talented at all at that point. We were really young and just begun playing our instruments. So it was the beginning of my musical endeavors. There's no recordings of this band. We weren't old enough to go into a studio or play, like record a demo or anything like that. We had one gig and there was an association that sponsored like younger bands and stuff like that with the rehearsal spaces. And those were the ones who supplied the stage at that festival. So everyone that had their rehearsal space with that association got to play on that stage if they wanted to. So it was not a paid gig or anything like that. No one wanted to see us. It was just to get younger bands out playing. So I mean, it's a nice thing to do for young people. And of course, as you might expect, it was only families and some friends there watching. So it's a little bit embarrassing, but what do you expect from something like that? So that was the first band I ever played in. From there on out, it took some years. I practiced my instrument and got better at guitar because that's what I was playing back then. I played guitar and also sang, of course. So the next band was a band called Evertide, and I was invited to this band. It was already a foreign band and they looked for a singer. I knew these guys from before because they've been around in the same rehearsal spaces, and this town isn't so big, so most people that play music you know about. Evertide was a band that played hard rock-ish music and also had clean singing. And me, since I looked up so much to Iron Maiden, wanted to be a hard rock singer that could take these high-pitched notes and sing with a high register. But unfortunately, I did not really have the capacity to do that at that time. Not saying I have it today either, but at that time it was not good. So what I had to do instead was to sing with a lower register, so it would be the same key as the songs we wrote. And to be honest, even back then I was not really proud of how it sounded. I didn't think that it fit for that kind of music. Even though I did my first recording ever with this band. It was the first demo I ever recorded, and at this time I definitely did not know how to sing in a recording mic properly. I'm gonna play a short clip of one of the songs here and you're gonna hear how terrible it sounds, and please do not tell me it sounds good, because I don't want pity feel good comments or anything like that. I know that it's bad and I think myself that it is bad, and I know, so just laugh at it, laugh together with me at this, because this is fucking bad. So yeah, that was that. Since I wasn't really happy with my performance in this band, even though they were really fun dudes to play with, I wanted to do something else, and I listened to a lot of other music than we actually played. This is when I started getting into like the heavier stuff, like the hardcore and the metal and the stuff like that. So I went to form a band called To Light the Dead with a friend called Jimmy Bring. We hung out a lot at that time, and we also listened to the same music. So we formed this band and we started looking for members. We listened to a lot of hardcore and screamo bands, and we wanted to sound something like Atreyu or Avenged Sevenfold pretty much. So of course the first song that we had to try out people with was Unholy Confessions with Avenged Sevenfold, and this band's sound moved out of that area pretty fast. We started doing another kind of music, and I would say it's a little bit harder, more screams, a little bit faster, and developing more to a metal way it felt. So eventually we had our full band and we wanted to record our demo. Of course I've saved this demo, so I'm gonna play a little clip of one of the songs here. You can hear how it sounds like. Also know that this demo is from 2007, so here we go. So that was that. We recorded this demo at a guy called Joachim's place. He played drums for a band called Intohimo at that time. He was a really nice dude, and Intohimo was actually quite a big deal at that time. And I mean, they got pretty far in their... Are they playing still? I'm not sure, but they got pretty far before I lost track of where they were. He's a really talented drummer, and as I said, he recorded our demo, so we were there for 2 days and we recorded, I think, 3 songs. For this being 2007, I was actually really happy about the result. Kind of at the same time, this band, To Light the Dead, as we were named at that time, went on to rename themselves as Orson Sparks. With this, I also feel that we developed our own sound a little bit more. And I would actually go to say that we were in the forefront of a new kind of metal that was developed right there, together with a bunch of other bands around the world and local bands that we played with. I describe it as mixing metal and hardcore in a certain way. It was breakdowns, 2-steps, some doppler beats from the hardcore, and blast beat, tvåtakt, I don't know what to call it. It was ticka 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 ticka. And also the disharmony of metal. We also got to play with some pretty big names and pretty big artists or bands at that time for our genre. We got signed from a label called Dead Vibrations, and with this label we actually released our first MCD, which is a mini CD, and we recorded this in a studio in Stockholm. This was the first time I was actually in like a real professional studio, and it was a cool experience. So we were there for a weekend, pretty much, I think 3 days, and we played all the songs we did. We played every instrument for it in a weekend, so it was pretty rushed, but I'm still really happy with the result for the circumstances being what they were. I'll play a little clip from one of the songs there. Also, if you want to listen to this older music we did that is not up on Spotify, just comment below and tell me, and I will send you a link to where you can download it. So here's a little part of one Orson Sparks song. Time moved on, and Orson Sparks had a great run, I feel, but it kind of died out because we all had different things that we were doing in life, and life took us different places. So we were real spread out, and everyone had different priorities of the band and stuff like that, which is very understandable. So Orson Sparks kind of died out. We tried to keep it together with changing some members and like rehearsing less and doing less, but it never was the same, really. But I'm really happy with what we did with Orson Sparks. So after some time of not having a band anymore, me and Egga, the current drummer of Arreat Summit, went on to form a band called the Black Freighter, together with some other guys. We had 2 vocalists, 2 guitarists, a bass player and a drum, so we were actually 6 people in this band. The Black Freighter is what was later to become Arreat Summit. So with Black Freighter we rehearsed a lot, we improved a lot at our instruments, and we actually did a recording with them. I'll play you a little clip from that right now. So with this band we changed guitarists a little bit. We never had a second guitarist that stuck with us that long. Eventually we found this guy called Matthias in some ad at some fucking page, which is super random, but I'm very happy we did, because this was Matthias Bernd, Catherine's brother, and after he joined the band we changed our name to Arreat Summit. If this random coincidence didn't happen, then I would never have met Catherine in the first place, and also Matthias is a very talented guitarist, so finding him in a place like that was really weird, but I'm very happy that happened, and that also led to Arreat Summit. The former lead guitarist Micke was also replaced later on because he went abroad to study. So he was replaced by Mackan, that is also in the band right now. Our first bass player moved as well, and we changed him with a guy called Maxe that was within the band up until just recently. And with Arreat Summit we've done a lot of recordings, and almost all of it is up on Spotify. And if you want to hear our first record that is not up on Spotify, just message me about that and I'll send you the link to that too. Kat, can you pause the camera? I really need to. So, Arreat Summit. I think you know most of the things about Arreat Summit because I've talked about it in other videos. I actually decided to add some of the old Arreat Summit stuff that you may not have heard or seen, pictures and music. So this music is not on Spotify, and if you want you can ask me to send it to you. So here's some old songs and old pictures. If you have any more questions about Arreat Summit, just question them and I'll answer them below. What you may not know though is that at the same time as playing in Arreat Summit, I had a side project called Placing the Blame. It was a band formed here in my hometown, and I felt like I wanted to play in a band in my own town so I could rehearse a little bit more often, because Arreat Summit is placed in Linköping. Most of the members lived in Linköping and are a little bit spread out, so we couldn't rehearse as much. So Placing the Blame was a side project for me to keep going and rehearse a little bit more often and keep my voice intact. Placing the Blame played mostly hardcore, I say. That band is not playing anymore, but we did record 2 EPs. They are both up on Spotify and I'll post a link for that here. My soul, So, that is my full band history and the bands that led up to Arreat Summit today. I hope you enjoyed hearing about this. I always find music a very fun subject to talk about. And as I said, if you want any recordings that you haven't heard here, or if you want the whole EP or CD or whatever of the bands I've been naming, then just comment down below and I'll send you a link so you can download it from my computer. As always guys, thanks for watching and I hope you had a funny second day.